Howdy, Mr. E here. Thanks for coming and watching this video. In this video, we're going to be talking about structured water and what I did to structure my water and the steps I took and other interesting facts that I realized when I was doing this. And I've got my water jug here, and we in the past, we took a trip up to Yellowstone National Park, and we went up to Mammoth Springs in Montana. And everybody thinks that like Mammoth Springs is like hot water, but I noticed a bird. He's taking a bird bath inside the spring, so it can't be hot. So I touched it, and yeah, it's cool water. It's just a natural spring. It's just got a lot of mineralized content because Yellowstone is a volcano, so they call it the Yellowstone. The Native Americans call it Yellowstone because it's got sulfur. The Yellowstone is sulfur. So when you go up there, it cleans your field completely. Uh, you'll feel way better. That's why everybody feels so great when they come out of Yellowstone. It's because there's sulfur content everywhere, and it cleans everybody's field of all the junk and nonsense that's been circling around in your field. And it cleans the water too. So Mammoth Springs, back to Mammoth Springs, it's just a huge spring. It's just like huge. And, I had a little bottle of kombucha, an empty bottle of kombucha, so I just rinsed it out pretty much. And I grabbed some of that water when nobody was looking because we don't want to get caught by the park ranger and probably get yelled at. And I went to a stream down where the spring was flowing into a little stream, so I just got it from there. And there's no sign saying you can't do it, so I just got just a little cup full of water. And so I didn't have very much, and sulfur is really not good for you to intake internally. So what I do is I put them in these little glass vials. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dr. Emoto's work, where he writes a word on a vial of water, and then he freezes it and checks out the crystalline structure of the water. And stuff like love will produce beautiful crystalline structures, and hate turns out dirty water. And so that's very important because we're like 70% water. So you got to watch how you're talking to yourself for one thing. And then the other thing is this water coming from Mammoth is already structured to clear any negative things in associated water. So what I do is I put them in these little vials, and then I plop them, just stick it right down. I've already got one in there, so I'm not going to do it. But I just stick it down into my water jug, and then let it do its magic because it's going to restructure that water inside my my thermos. And I know they have like water wands and stuff that will restructure stuff, and they sell them for like $75 and stuff like that. But if you get if you get inventive enough, you can just make your own water wand and just stuff it in there. It saves you $75. Maybe you know maybe it'll pay for a trip to Yellowstone to go to Mammoth Springs and grab your own little cup of water and then just use it to restructure water. And so, yeah, because I'm not sure if it's safe to drink because it might have some sulfur content in it because it is an active volcano. So that's interesting things. And then there's one more thing that I realized is that the baptism, the original intent of the baptism was it still is to wash away all your sins. So they would do it in a sacred river, and where there's structured water it's holy water. It's a holy river. So they would take you out to the holy river, and not to a baptismal font, how they do it today, but they take you out to a holy river, and the water's already pure and structured, and then they dunk you under, and then washes away all your sins, which is true because it restructures your crystalline structure of the water inside the body, and that washes away your so-called sins. And so But I don't know about this, hey, you're now a member of the church and you get to pay 10% tithing. I fail to understand why God is broke, but um, I don't understand that. But anyway, so I don't think that was the original intent, and they've turned it into a commercial affair just to make money. And I think that's not how the original structure was meant to be. But if you do this and you put it in your water and you drink the water, then it's gonna circulate throughout your body. It's gonna change this crystalline structure of your body, and you're gonna feel much better. So that's just a couple realizations I had about water and how important it is, because we are 70% water. You got to stay hydrated, and you got to filter the water nowadays. There's like chlorine and fluoride and all sorts of poisonous substances in the water. I don't know whose flipping idea it was to poison the water supply. But we're lucky here where I live. It's, we're on a well system. But, the state made them put chlorine in it. And even though they didn't have any problems, they had the water tested for 3 years in a row, no problems at all. But they still made them put chlorine in the water. So I think that's a bunch of BS. But anyway, I just put filters in my house, and I've got a reverse osmosis on my sink. And then you have to restructure the water after you filter it so heavily. And so this is one of my restructuring processes, and I put some magnesium and potassium and other stuff inside the water, some mineralization, maybe some salt, some real salt, or some Celtic salt inside the water, because it contains minerals. So it'll restructure the water into mineral content, which is what your body needs. It needs those electrolytes to function. We're electromagnetic beings, so we need to have those electrolytes to function properly. And so, by the way, it's going to rain here. We got God clouds coming in. See, look at that big bad boy. And that's another thing I'll share with you in another video. But I thought I'd do a short video today. I'm committed to doing one video a day until I get to at least 700 videos. So it might take a while, and I appreciate you watching. Why don't you go ahead and like, subscribe, and give it stay tuned to watch, give it a comment if you want to comment on the video, and share it. Go ahead and share it. So I really appreciate your watching this video, and make it a great day.